Hey, welcome back to my coverage of the Oceania Pro League. In this video I'll be covering both playoff days 2 and 3, and I will be giving out a recommendation which one to watch and 3 stars for both. Hope you enjoy. The first match of the day was Man LFO vs Odium on Bank. The game had a pretty good back and forth with great attacks from both sides, taking us to all 3 overtime rounds. Both teams had really good attacks in overtime, but Man LFO ended up having a stronger defense on the last OT round, closing it out 8-1. The second map of the series was Skyscraper, which featured good attacks by Odium but stronger defenses by LFO. Odium were typically able to get the openings, but were just unable to convert them to actual round wins. Cairo just went ballistic immediately after the side swap, gets a 4K, gets LFO the round, but after that it was mostly just good attacks by LFO being met by better defenses on Odium's part. LFO really lost their momentum around round 10, took the timeout, and after recovering a little, a 2K from safe just stalled their attack in round 11. A very explosive entry in round 12 secures match point for LFO though, who will go on to play Bliss in the finals. The second match of the day was Antic vs Bliss, with the first game being on Cafe. This game also had pretty good back and forth. Antic were able to get a flawless in round 3, which was followed by a slight loss of momentum on their part, leading to a 3-3 half. At this point, Bliss is basically manifesting attacks. Breno gets a 4K in round 8, and they tap it in around 10 with that.
Sage gets a big kill onto Logic, it's down to Frixel in a 1 versus 2. Gets the first one, should know that the plant is going to be going down. He gets off it, noise made, Fisho. Well, this is really nicely done here from Frixel. He will never lose this, ever. It's impossible. Never mind.
Second map of the match was Chalet, which featured strong attacks by Antic and even stronger defenses by Bliss, giving Bliss a total of 4 rounds. Third match of the series was Bank, and yeah, decent attack by Antic were met by just much stronger defenses by Bliss. OT in round 3 just didn't change much, and Bliss just tapped it in with a diffuser down and had a literal conga line.
Imagine so. Very likely from here. There's the push over towards Beepers. Sage, he's gone and got 2. He goes to 11 and 2. And no way for Breno to match that one.
Third and last game of the day was Panic vs CS for the 5th position spot. The first map took us to Chalet, which featured a good back and forth of attack and defense rounds. Karma on this map went absolutely ballistic, getting a 4K in round 8 and closing out the map with 22 kills total. Second map took us to Clubhouse, where we saw strong defense by Panic. River got a 4K in the opening round, Sean gets one in round 6, and the second half was pretty much back and forth, which Panic managed to close out with 2 strong rounds and flawless in round 12. Panic finished as the 5th total in the league, and this was Sean's last game, who goes on to study civil engineering. The second day starts us off with Odium vs Antic for the 3rd position. Sadly, due to Bappin having PC issues, the first map of Oregon was a forfeit. The second map of the game took us to Consulate, which had a good initial back and forth and typically had a very good conversion rate of man advantage, except for a great clutch by Logic in round 5, ending once again with an even half. On attack, Odium mostly fell victim to very aggressive and very effective plays, and this being sort of an effective BO1 format, but regardless, Antic closed it out with a well-deserved 3rd place. The last match of the day was the big finale between Man LFO and Bliss. First map of the match was Cafe, Bliss's map pick, and aside from a flawless in round 4 by Man LFO, it was basically pure domination by Bliss. The second map, Clubhouse, was much more interesting, with conversions typically dictating the round outcome. Round 4 is the outlier, where Scars got a 3 kill, 2 kills with impacts from below, and from there on out it was just a 2 versus 1 with a clash, which, you know, not gonna win. The round immediately after that, Fisher just went ballistic, gets a 4K in the second attack round for Bliss that half. Round 6 was an absolute banger. LFO get the opening, Bliss get 3 Ks afterwards, putting us into a 2v4. Scars finds another one, and Cairo just stops 2 people from entering side, putting us into a 2v1 situation. Sagen gets Cairo, plants, and from there on out it's a 1v1 retake for Scars, and he clutches it, putting us at a 4-2 half. Also, fun fact, this was the only plant in this BO3. Round 7 featured a giant firefight started by a last second push started by Man LFO, which they just managed to edge out, after which Bliss take their timeout, mentally reset, and just kept winning their rounds. Man LFO took their timeout in round 9, but just weren't quite able to find it. Both sides did manage to play a very aggressive game though. In round 12, Man LFO get the opening and try an Osa plant in the back of Armory, which is stopped by EC4. The diffuser is now stuck in a really bad position, and LFO just drop like flies trying to get it back. Bliss take the round and are now officially qualified for the Manchester Major. Which one to watch? For both days, the Bliss game. Antic vs Bliss was by far the most exciting match. Good back and forth, great highlights, and a scripted ending. And for the second day, you know, there's just no contest. The grand finals are always going to be more interesting than the 3rd place match, and the forfeit also just didn't help, turning a fairly exciting best of 3 into a best of 2, and then Antic closing it out immediately. On to the 3 stars. First up, day 2. Gold star, no contest, goes to Karma. He was an actual menace on Chalet, played really well, and got 35 kills total. Well done. Silver star. This one was tough for me, but I'm giving it to Brendo. He had a really tight head-to-head with Sagen, but in my opinion he clutched it out with a slightly better cost and numerous entries. And the bronze star goes to Cairo, who had a beastly game on Skyscraper, 30 kills total, and just a really good day. On to day 2. Gold star goes to Oda, who had one hell of a work day and who was the only player with a KPR of at least 1. Silver star goes to Tuhan, who is actually tied with Quixie in terms of the highest cost of the day. He also holds the top 4 spot of survivability percentages, and if you throw in a clutch and a plant, I think it's a well-deserved 2nd place. Good job. Third and final star goes to Wedables. He had a great game on Cafe, had a very good 0.9 KPR, and actually shares the top spot with Sage in survivability percentages. And there we have it. This concludes the Oceania League, and this was a very great play day from my eyes. It was extremely entertaining, had just absolutely great games. And yeah, I really want to give a shout out to the entire crew of the Oceania League. You guys have been an absolute blast to watch this, and actually like a really good series to get my feet wet on. But I do want to give a special shout out to Mandy, who got a job as I think an aerospace engineer. If you do watch this, your way of just breaking down the game minutiae, and especially your chemistry with Dev, has been really, really great and exciting and refreshing to watch. And I wish you all the best in your upcoming career. Thank you. As for me, I think I did a decent job covering most of the games. I know there's several things I could absolutely improve on. Some people have given feedbacks that I would like to see more clips, which I've been trying to incorporate, but this has collided at a really fraught time for me, as well as being very time intensive and being a lot to cover. But yeah, if you do have feedback that you would love to see, that ways you can think I can improve this, I would love to hear them, and I will try to incorporate as much as I can into this. Producing these has been a lot of fun, and I did enjoy making them. And yeah, I would love to continue to do so, and I would love to hear what you guys think. As usual, if you enjoyed them, I would love if you subscribed and liked and shared these. Yeah, I will still have to figure out how exactly I'm going to cover the Manchester Major. I simply don't have enough time to cover all the LCQs, but I will definitely try to go more into detail for the Manchester Major and at least cover the group stages before, you know, traveling to Manchester myself. And yeah, all that's left for me to say is that I hope you enjoyed these, and yeah, that you have a wonderful day. Peace.